What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Summer Gravity, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's talk about an idea that I have, which I know I'm going to get tremendous pushback for, but again, it's just an idea. I haven't fully thought through all the implications. I just think that it would be interesting considering the fact that I've been talking a lot about how much Chaos Legion is out there, how many Chaos Legion cards there are out there. And so I was just toying with the idea of, like, I don't know whether it be DAO sponsored or team sponsored or something like that. Obviously, the DAO would have to provide rewards, but in a way, you could make a Chaos Legion only format. And you wouldn't, put it behind. You wouldn't have to put it behind like a paywall, like the Wild Season Pass or whatever. It would just be a Chaos Legion format. And the reason I say that is because if we use this tool here, and I know Splinter Cards is not fully up to date, so this may not be exact, but I'm sure it's not that far off. In the live stream yesterday, it was taking a look at Chaos Legion values, and it's like you can go and get the core set for like $400, $450, not even, right? And then you can get the reward cards. Let's see, the reward cards. There we go. Reward cards is another $87. So as I think about where players are, where they stand, and what they could, essentially, new players I'm talking about, right? They come in, they start with Foundation mode. They can easily transition to a Chaos Legion, almost like Starter League. And I know we already have Frontier mode, which is supposed to be the Starter League. But if they want to start buying cards and earning some rewards, right, some SPS, this could almost be like we'll call it like a junior varsity league, right? And then once you graduate from that, if you want to get other cards, whether they're the new cards in modern format or whether they're the older cards for all of wild format, and understand that like wild format is going to be ever expanding. So in another 18 to 24 months, like we will get yet another expansion. Rebellion will move to wild, right? So it's like wild will always be something different and fun and cool. So therefore it can differentiate itself from Chaos Legion. And I know there's also survival mode. So we're talking about a bunch of different game modes here. But the reason that I look at this is because I'm just like, the cards are super cheap if you want to go and buy them off the marketplace. We have another 1.7, million packs. And I know that only equates to about 500, players, or 500, I shouldn't say players, but 500, max decks. But I'm just looking at that as like a potential place for like a starter league. Now, the question then that needs to be asked is, is this worth the team's time to go and create yet another format, especially when they're working on a bunch of other cool things? The immediate answer is probably going to be no, right? So I recognize that. And then B, how would we fund these rewards? Would it be something temporary? Would it be, or something that was ongoing and something that could evolve? And so therefore it's not just a Chaos Legion only format, but like I said earlier, like a starter format or a junior varsity format, or maybe you involve some other things in the future if there's any kind of like overprinting. Now, obviously we don't want there to be any more overprinting, but Chaos Legion is just such a special and unique situation that part of me is like, I don't know, maybe we have to treat it with a little bit of specificity, right? We need to come in and be intentional about what we're going to do. Now, again, I'm putting this out there as yet another potential solution to the oversupply of cards. We already have a lot that we've talked about, whether it's land, and land's been talked about for a while, whether it's survival mode, or whether it's this upcoming Cinder program. But what I like about this, and this will be the last thing that I'll say and we can close out. What I like about having a Chaos Legion only format is that, similar to Frontier, the meta is somewhat limited, right? So people can come in and they can play with the cards. They can, do whatever they need to do with the cards. The meta is limited, and it offers just another like an intermediate step on the learning curve, right? Because there's only going to be a certain amount of, abilities, certain amount of rule sets that are applicable for those abilities. And so people can go from Frontier mode into this JV mode, Chaos Legion mode, whatever it is, and have it be a place where like, hey, I want to start collecting some cards. The cards are only like, $200, $300, $400, $500, and then kind of move forward from there, right? That's the thought. And then if you want to start getting into the real competitive areas, then you start playing in modern format, or you start playing in wild format, or even survival mode, right? And again, the rewards there wouldn't be super high. It would just be a place in which players who have started playing the game, right, can come in and be like, oh, you know what? I think I kind of want to get involved. I don't know what match liquidity is going to be like there. It's probably going to be low. You need to have bots or some kind of like liquidity bots in order to get something out of it. So I understand. Before I close the video, I understand this isn't the best idea in the world, but I'm just putting it out there because maybe somebody can take it and massage it a little bit more, and then we run with it and it turns into something cool. Like I said, not necessarily a Chaos Legion only mode, although that's what it is essentially being designed to do, but almost like a junior varsity mode where people can come in and play at the mid levels or have an easily affordable deck, right? We'll call it that way. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.